Westbrook, 15 triple-double of the season. Your team wins 12 games when you get triple-doubles, 45 all time. How rewarding is that for you and your team, seeing you put up numbers and y'all get victories?
The most important part is we winning. That's the best part about the game, and go out and compete.
He had that look in his eye, that look of determination that anything in his way he would go through. Russell Westbrook's 2016-17 season was a masterpiece of sheer will and athletic brilliance. In a year where stars were shining all across the league, Westbrook stood above the rest, delivering one of the most jaw-dropping individual performances in NBA history. Russ averaged a triple-double, putting up 31 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists, and he became just the second player after Oscar Robertson to achieve this. Although this is amazing, what truly set Westbrook apart wasn't just the numbers, it was the heart and ferociousness he was playing with. Since Kevin Durant decided to go on over to the Warriors, many people thought OKC would just fall off the map, but Westbrook single-handedly kept the team afloat, guiding them to 47 wins, earning himself the 2017 MVP. When you talk about dominant players, well, he has to be in the conversation as he put up 42 triple-double, setting an NBA record, and during each game you could see his impact heavily. Basically, when the moment called, you could give the phone to Westbrook and he wouldn't mind solving the problem. All of us can agree that this was the best moment during the season, as Westbrook not only put up a triple-double versus the Denver Nuggets, but he put up 50 points and hit a 36-foot game winner, leaving the crowd all out stuck. When you look at the best guards in NBA history, they all have a blueprint to their madness, such as Steph Curry's shooting, Luka's passing, James Harden's craftiness, and then when you shift to Westbrook, well, his model is simply built on relentlessness and a fearless approach. If you were able to tune in at this time, you can see that it didn't matter if Westbrook was crashing inside to make tough conversions at the rim, or if he was pushing the pace in transition like all of us when Thanksgiving food is ready. He was imposing his will every single night, and although it got a little hectic, there was a blueprint that he left to be studied. With Westbrook having an advantage in every category under athletics, when defenders got caught on an island like this with Russ having a live dribble, this was basically a pop quiz. Will he decide to pull up over the top and make it look easy, or will he use that speed to blow by to finish inside? Honestly, it's the luck of the draw, and if defenders weren't ready when Westbrook made his move, well, now he's right in the paint crashing into you while kissing this off the window. This setup is so effective because it leaves you vulnerable to a drive to the rim, but then also with the offensive player having his feet set, they could very well elevate into a jump shot at any time. Ultimately, this puts the defender in the hands of Westbrook, so he can now burst past to go get two. Since defenders will more than likely bite on the drive, he would throw in these step backs to get right into his shot, and with them being aware of these attacks, some defenders would try to beat Westbrook to the spot, but this is where that weight room comes in handy. Russ could just explode out these whenever he felt like it, which will more than likely lead to him extending out in the paint to finish over the defender, but let's say the help side defender shifted over while he was en route, then he could soar in the air right past them and extend out to finish on the other side instead. Trust me, defenders would do anything to try to stop this, such as swiping at the ball to make him uncomfortable, but all they end up doing is hitting him in the face, watch him grimace while spinning around, and then pull up right in your face for straight cash. With this being such a threat to the defense, it made them ball watch Westbrook heavily, which led to Russ being able to scan the floor to find an open man, and altogether, this got him in a flow. Once you let Westbrook see some easy ones go through the basket, well, that's when his game was fully activated. During this time, there truly wasn't anyone who could keep up with Westbrook on the floor, and this was a main factor that made him feared in the league. You'll have those players who can use flashy handles and be extra slippery when on the court, but when you have to guard someone who is light years faster than you and can make abrupt, sharp movements, this is when you know that you're in for a long night. When Russ got started downhill, it was like a burst of speed was served on these drives, which led to slams like this. Yeah, real explosive and straight fearless when attacking the rim. You could throw great defenders at him like Iggy, but the speed and sharp crosser are still too much for Iggy to contain him. If Russ beat his initial defender and had one waiting on him, well, here you can see he altered his body to avoid the charge, and this one ends in an and one. And let's just say two defenders meet him at the rim, well, he could focus all the way through to convert. You'll see these times where defenders try to funnel him into help, but the thing with this is that Russ can explode out so aggressively that once he launches out that triple threat, the help simply isn't quick enough to react, and here comes a ferocious slam. Probably the worst thing to do was give Westbrook a head of steam when coming at you, because now he's able to shift gears with that change of direction, and once he gets in the air, well, he can drop it right back off to Steven Adams. With Westbrook having this massive speed advantage on most of the league, the entire defense could be out in front of him when catching the ball, but once he decided to turn on those jets, he could outbeat everyone down the floor to go lay it in. Take a look right here. Every Laker defender is in front of Russ when he receives the ball, but shortly after this, Westbrook is all the way at the rim, sinking this highly difficult bucket on the break. On a nightly basis, defense would have a problem slowing him down in these fast break scenarios, as if they tried to wrap him up, he'd break right through, and with that superb athleticism, he can go around to help defender's body to scoop this up and in. I mean, just think about it. When someone is coming at you full speed recklessly, you're gonna be already worried. But then when you add in that Westbrook is fearless, this is when he becomes even scarier. It doesn't matter if there's a big waiting on him down low, as he'll just soar right over them to get a bucket. If he's hounded on the break, well, he'll jump into the defender's space on the takeoff to negate the contest. And say you do have an elite defender ready to stop him, well, with the sharpness of his moves, Westbrook can feed a mean in and out to shift Drew Holiday and lay it in for 2 points. The drive was something special for Russ, as it seemed as if no one could stop it in the league, but it wasn't just speed that got him to the rim. When Russ would come off these screens, he would have a defender waiting on him most of the time, so here's where that ability to shift directions in the blink of an eye comes in handy. Right here he goes away from the screen, but the big is still ready to help on the drive, so Westbrook shoots the gap hard, splitting the defense, and once arriving inside, he can finish the bucket around Harden. As you watch him change directions on the floor, you'll notice that burst of speed sneak in to outbeat the defense, and sometimes Westbrook would throw in a hezzy to really catch the defense off guard. When coming off the screen here, Westbrook has a clear runway to attack, but he knows he has to defeat AD. So he pulls out that hezzy into an in and out to outduel him, and to the rim he goes. Now defenders really have to be careful in these, because just when it seems like he was going to slow down, Russ would actually blow right past you, and when he started his attacks off bursting out that hezzy, well, in no time he will be past you, and with 3 defenders all over him, he can now dump this back off to Sabonis for the layup. Now these hezzies aren't just effective for no reason, as there must be a threat for the defense to be worried about, and when it came to Westbrook, defenses were always on their heels waiting for him to rise up in that in-between area. When attacking downhill, the defenders were more geared to play the drive, as that's where Westbrook's bread and butter was, but to counter that, Westbrook would stop and pop out of nowhere, leaving them on the ground while he's getting into his shot. To refer back to the hesitation, you can see here versus Brandon Ingram, Westbrook uses that hezzy, and it's right here where you don't know if he's going to burst out for a drive or shoot the ball. And like I said, if you don't choose correctly, well, now he's rising up right over you. I think me, you, and everyone else understood just how lethal this mid-range pull-up was for Westbrook, because now instead of just the drive, you have to worry about the pull-up as well. These shots truly came in a variety of ways. If you played the drive when he put the ball on the deck, well, Russ could use that step back to create more space for the jumper. If it wasn't the step back being used, well, Russ could sidestep away from his defender to bank it in off the glass. And to keep it simple, if you weren't close enough when he came off the screen, well, just go ahead and chalk up 2 points. I already know the stat heads won't like these shots when it comes to Westbrook and his shooting, but when you turned on the TV and watched an OKC game, you truly were entertained with his level of play. Not only was it just mid-range pull-ups, as he used that post-game to sink fadeaways, bully smaller defenders to get to his spots, and one-legged shots over defenders as well. Westbrook just had a package that could be used anywhere on the floor, and with his main ability being able to break defenses with sheer speed, it opened up many angles to find his guys on the floor. This season right here was masterful, and no matter how much hate he tends to get, no one should forget about just how good Russell Westbrook was. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you're first to know when I upload. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.